Of course, the side of SMG, they'll go for the bottom. No problems here. Pretty even kind of start, and we may as well start talking about the lanes while we're here. Of course, bot lane, you've got Arfu and KP. They're going to be up against the Raven Luna, one of the scarier heroes here for Raven. I've been watching this man very carefully when he does play the Luna. He is very quick in the farming department. Very, very scary kind of Luna player to have to go up against. How do you feel about this bot lane? I mean, he's going to have the support of DJ, so you'd imagine he should be relatively safe. Still can be rather difficult, though, into the Shadow Demon Brewmaster.
Initial levels aren't going to feel nice. DJ's really got to toss his body forward, make sure Afu doesn't get those Shadow Poison stacks up. KP can still just kind of farm out for the first 2-3 levels. Like, he does have a nice AoE clear with a Thunderclap. Good combination once the Cinder Brew's up and the Shadow Poison, so that can kind of slow you down here on the side of Fnatic. But again, you've got the Aphotic Shield to kind of dispel at least the Cinder Brew, so it's not going to feel amazing, and KP might just opt to play more passive because of that. You can already see Raven's wave is just completely shoved in, and he's doing the right thing. He manages to pull it behind the tier 1, so he's just going to stabilize his farm while the opposite pull happens for Afu.
No, I think DJ did a great job, though. He forces it into the tier 1 tower, and that's not exactly what SMG wanted. So I suppose not 100% confident that Afu could get away without dying with that creep wave. He does end up just dragging it right into the tier 1. Meanwhile, top lane, mid 1, he does already secure first blood. The Jabs ends up going down early on the Rubik. Great start already here for SMG. I suppose we may as well talk about this top lane while we're here, John. Mid 1 and Rogi, the Nyx Assassin Gyrocop to safe lane against Death and Jabs, who's yet to make his way back over. And mid 1, obviously, great start with the bonus gold. Ignoring that aspect of things, though, how do you think this lane goes?
It can get aggressive from the side of Fnatic once levels are up, especially once Jabs has maybe the value point in telekinesis. You lift up, you go into Swash, you get lucky with maybe a lucky shot slow. You can look to chase down. You just have to worry about all the control coming out from SMG. They've got 2 stuns, you've got 1 stun with a lift, and that 1 stun you have is a very long cooldown, so it does line up more for Fnatic to maybe play a bit more defensively here, and SMG can just look to just apply their bodies forward. Rogi's doing a good job of just zoning out Jabs from getting any sort of pull, going for any sort of harassment. Sure, he might just sacrifice his life here, but should be worthwhile.
Yeah, he does. You know, I don't think dying was really intentional there by Rogi. I don't think he was quite expecting the swashbuckle to come in, but still, I mean, he does get a lot of harass off, does get the courier of Jabs as well, which makes it that little bit sweeter, but certainly a nice pick off there now for Jabs on that Rubik, getting a little bit of revenge after his first initial death. And of course, the last lane we haven't looked at yet is the mid lane. Moon against Chuen. This is where it all happens, John. Moon, currently in terms of CS, is ahead. Chuen, I mean, he's 3 CS behind, so not really too big of a deal. It's a rather even kind of matchup. We have seen Moon on this Mars and Chuen on this Void Spirit, and both of them tend to be extremely dominant.
Oh yeah, and this is something that, you know, as the Mars, it feels pretty darn nice. Sure, the Resonant Pulse is going to block out a lot of your harassment, but the amount of damage God's Rebuke does, even if it's physical, is enough to burn through that shield anyway. So Chuen's not fully secure and just going for CS. He has to watch for these spear backs as well. Easier for Moon to land that control onto the cliff side, and it's just easier for Moon to kind of constantly shove out the wave. Lower cooldown on God's Rebuke, pretty cheap in mana as well. Very easy to just build up CS. It's at the level 6 mark where things go back and forth, and it's really down to who does get level 6 first. Because if Mars does, Arena comes out, you have no step, Chuen might die. If Chuen gets it first, he can step Remnant, maybe look for a support rotation as well, and clean up in Mars. So it's all about just EXP management here, and for the most part, Moon is having a better time of it.
It's funny as well, right? Like with this Mars pickup, it's received so many nerfs as of late. In fact, hold that thought, because top lane Jabs, he's going to be in a spot of danger. Mid 1 going to try and chase him down. Jabs does get the salve off, but mid 1 can't get in range to cancel. Now he does. They should be able to perhaps get this kill as Rogi. Impel, no, it was on cooldown. He had no way to cancel. Mid 1 didn't have the homing missile anyway if he wanted to try and throw that out. Maybe risk getting that cancellation before the TP did go off. So going back to that mid lane for a second, John, I've been thinking about this quite a bit with Mars. It's received so many nerfs over maybe the last year. And one that really kind of annoys the Mars players that I've spoken to is the fact that he has 0 mana regen. once the game starts. I feel like the mid lane is arguably more suitable for this hero now. Especially with the way the power runes work. You get a bottle, you might go for a soul ring, but with the amount of runes you can fill up your bottle with, it does feel like this hero does really excel in that mid lane.
Yeah, it's down to water runes, right? Like, we used to talk about it early on when it came out, but it just kind of neutralizes really big bully mids, because you can just regen back the harassment anyway, for the most part. At least with one support rotation, you will have one water rune, you'll have a bounty rune to top up on, and feels much more manageable. We do hit this spike now on Moon. He's got 6 up earlier, but he doesn't have the mana. He could try to maybe pop the magic wand or just wait for the bounty rune respawn, but I think Chuen can just play it safe, back off for a bit. He knows Arena's going to be very deadly to him, so he can't really afford to overextend his welcome.
I'm very curious to see where he does end up going here on this Mars with that level 6 timing. Might even stick around mid and just keep the farm up, perhaps not seeing the opportunity. KP, bottom lane, going to take a bit of harassment here. Even going to throw out the Lucent Beam, but that's going to be enough. KP, he gets the Drunken Brawler and just runs towards the tier 1 tower. Oh, big rune here for Moon though, John. Haste rune is up now on the Mars, and that's going to be a very scary rune for Fnatic. Moon, he's going to show on the mid lane for now. Does take a bit of harassment from Chuan. Just have to be somewhat cautious, but once he does regen up, he should be able to make a big rotation to one of the side lanes. I mean, they can see the haste rune right now, but it's always kind of hard to predict when he's going to pop it, and now he does. You wouldn't think so with the low HP, but they do have the Observer Ward that scouted it out. So Moon, they know he's coming. Disruption is there, however. Top lane, who have they got? It's going to be Death. Now the Arena catches out both as well. They'll try to swashbuckle away, but there are plenty of heroes around. They are probably going to find both. DJ, he'll TP in to try and help out. Moon, he might drive for this. No, he's still alive. But eventually DJ does manage to pick off the kill. And SMG, they get a 2-for-1 trade. I do feel like that was still favorable for the side of SMG.
Yeah, great rotation out from Moon. They had the ward down, and we saw Fnatic retreating early, but a great rotation out from Offroot to get that disruption to set up. He did body block Moon a bit, so Moon couldn't quite retreat. Maybe they could have gotten him far enough that he might have just been able to live. Looked a bit shaky anyway. And of course, with them backing off early, they did get the information that there was a ward. So they also get value there, getting control back in their jungle. While Moon was gone, they did try to shove in a bit, and Chuen did shove in mid-wave. It's a Void Spirit. It doesn't really get the push going fast. So you're going to have to look for aggression to really build up here. And they also managed to get D-ward on the camp ward as well, so it clears out some control. The big difference right now in the map really rides in the pause ones. Look at Raven's farm, 67-12 compared to mid one's 45-6. The Luna's had a free lane, and it's just going to flash farm really quick. Dragonlance almost up. Once this Luna gets running, it can get scary. Like, we do see the max flak cannon build up in mid one, so he's focusing on early farm. His damage output is not going to feel the same as Raven's if Raven does show up to a fight earlier with some of these items up.
Oh, 100%. It's also that nice timing here from Fnatic as well, right? Like, they stack the camps after knowing that Raven's now available to take them. And of course, Raven found a Morbid Mask, by the way, John. Because God forbid a Luna player doesn't find Morbid Mask. That's exactly what he gets. The best item for Luna in the tier 1. Hell, even maybe in the tier 2. And Raven, yeah, he'll just go for the stacks now. He can more than easily take them with this Morbid Mask on. Top lane, there's a bit of a rotation here. Chuen and Jabs are around, but the only target they might have an opportunity at is going to be Rogi. And he is standing behind the tree line and just remaining safe. But back to Raven, John. Stacking for himself. He's got a quad stack going on now. I mean, you kind of talked about it, but his farm is going to be quite ridiculous this game.
Yeah, he's just given so much room, and SMG hasn't really been able to scout out. They don't have levels yet to enable the Nyx to go around and stop that farm. No level 6 for Raji. The push is also slowly shaping up for Fnatic up top. Moon's trying to do the same down bot. He's going to find that tier 1. It will be a tower for tower trade, even on the most part, although it's a bit slower for Fnatic up top. But eventually that should equalize, give you space for your pause once to build up. I think the key thing now for SMG in particular is the first item coming out for Moon. They're lining up for mid a bit, getting a shove in. Once the blink is up on the Mars, that's when you should see this aggression start to pile on. Maybe you could also just set up with Disruption into Spear, and that could be something SMG goes for, but they're not quite finding the targets yet.
Both mid targets right now for Moon are quite difficult because both of them can just kind of get their way out of the arena quite easily. Moon, no power rune at the top spot. Regen is at the bot spot though, and Arfu is going to be able to make sure that's secured. Very nice rune there for the Mars. Fnatic not too interested in trying to contest as they understand the power spikes that are going on right now for SMG. Meanwhile, bottom lane apparently, KP goes for a deep dive with the primal split and does get a solo pick off with the jabs. But I suppose KP, understanding the opportunity he had there, just pops the ulti, gets a nice simple kill. Looks like he's not too interested in trying to force a team fight right now with this team. He should have the primal split timing around the time that you get the blink on Moon. So it might be just really nice timing here from SMG. But speaking of, they have smoked up now. Up towards the top lane they go, Moon and Rogi. They really want Raven or DJ. Death's going to be hard to catch with that Rolling Thunder. Instead, they'll run back into the triangle, it seems. They're not really going to scout out much. No stacks being made. Mid lane, Chuan, he's just going to step out. One of the strengths about the Void Spirit, you don't care about Arena as long as you have the Astral Step Up.
It's the awkward thing for SMG's initiation. They need to maybe start with Disruption. Range for Afu is not the best. It can be a bit risky for him to walk up there. Raji, he's still in the Invis form, but they still haven't found anything, so he's forced to just clear out a creep wave, a camp. The scan was there as well to tell about that rotation back top, so Det manages to bail out in time. Fnatic, I mean, they look like they're lower in the kill board, 2 to 4, but it's just much faster for Raven to build that farm, and they're starting to clump up KP.
Yeah, he could be in a spot of danger here as they get the lift off. Aether Remnant is also going to connect there from Chuan, and KP, he has no split from the last time. Should definitely just be dead here. They do get him jabs. He'll take the kill with the Fade Bolt. An immediate smoke up. I mean, there's really no spells on cooldown right now for Fnatic, so they can just keep going. Try to abuse that Rolling Thunder on Death, and well, even Raven's in the mid lane. Just chilling out, pushing the tier 1 tower. Zafu is going to break the smoke there of Death. They'll spot them out now and is immediately going to back off. Rogi, he will make sure the high ground does remain defended. This mid one was farming some Ancients, but that tier 1 mid tower is dropping incredibly fast.
Looks like dire structures are fortified.
Moon, he's moving in, Arena up in 5. They're going to fortify, but Raven, he's got a bit of a haste rune left. Just runs away, nobody gets caught, and that mid tier 1 tower, it's on its last legs.
Not quite in deny range, so SMG can't just remove that objective yet. One more shove from Fnatic should clean that up. However, I think they're still pretty happy they don't take losses. They're building up on their gyro. They've got the blink up on Moon, so they can go for more aggressive plays, look to line up, get the Arena Spear combination off, even the slippery target like the Void Spirit, if it's not aware, can get caught out. They've just got to look for the angle, and well, Chuan is presenting himself bot, and Raji does have the Vendetta as well.
Chuan. But it bounces off the mark. Moon, no, nice spear out. He does still catch him. Chuan has another step, but Arena is now down. Dissimulate. It's going to be there. He's still going to try and go for a run. Yeah, he's going to make it out. They're still trying to chase him down with the flat cannon and everything, but it's not working out as Death has a really nice Rolling Thunder out, and now the Eclipse flies in from Raven. They've got Arfu down. They've got mid one controls up. Moon's going to try and jump in and help out, but mid one, he's already dead. Moon, he needs to run as KP's going to stay behind and try to go after Raven, but it is not working. They are throwing everything at Fnatic, and nothing has worked out for them as SMG. Well, KP looks like he's accepted the fact that he is going to die. There's really not much of a way out for him, and that's going to be a full team wipe at the 13-minute mark for the side of Fnatic.
I'm dead.
Yeah, big set of kills coming out from Fnatic, all from the back of jumping Chuan first. Like, it felt like they panic responded. They tried to kind of tried to force that fight out on SMG's end and just fell flat. The damage output, it was not quite enough in mid one, and the protection coming out from Fnatic was just very clean. Like, DJ just manages to always get the aphotic shield. Raven was always low, but never low enough to be dead. And if you can't cross that threshold against the Abaddon, it just gets really dicey. I do have to appreciate the fact that we were talking about the Gyrocopter skill build on mid 1. He doesn't go for stats. He did have the Rocket Barrage and the max out flak. So there is more early damage coming out here for mid 1. It's just, it doesn't compare to the Luna right now. At least not until the Ags is up. And even then, it feels like you're going to need a couple of items more before you match that damage output.
Big smoke up here, Fnatic. Run right into KP again. Primal Split still not off cooldown, so the Rolling Thunder is going to connect in time, and they'll leave Roger to be. You'd much rather just go after KP on that pos 3 Brewmaster. Roger, it seems like he understood there was no real way for him to help out. They're going to back. And if you're Fnatic now, you're looking at the... Well, I was going to say mid-tier 1 tower, but it was already dropped. But now you're just looking to take over the map. Raven's doing exactly that, John. Top lane, T2 tower already dropping half HP. Fu though, nice setup with the disruption. Roger gonna get the impale off. He's got help around him though. Raven, even with the purge out, is just not gonna die, as DJ will heal him up with the miscoil. They just can't do anything about him. Raven, he's having the freest game of his life right now.
Oh, Radiant's
he was just left alone in lane. He hits the Dragon Lance SNY spike on the Luna. His damage output's great, very durable. The control's not enough to quite lock him in. They even tried to jump Chuen a bit, and Call Down was there just to clear out the creep wave from mid 1. What we need to see from SMG next is really more emphasis on this blink on Mars. Like, they tried to go for that big fight bot. I think they need to focus on just finding the Luna with that Spear Arena. Like, if you can isolate Raven, get the combination on him with the follow-up damage you have with your Shadow Demon, with your Gyrocopter, you can still win out, but they've not been able to control the triangle. Like, it's just been so free for Fnatic to keep that farming pattern in that area, and SMG, the one or two times they scouted out, didn't quite line up, and looks like they just haven't been able to really find anyone at the right time there because they don't really have vision.
That they don't. Another rotation into the dire jungle here from Fnatic. Because SMG, they're doing the exact same thing on the other side of the map, and SMG do actually scan them out in that area. Just knowing exactly where they are, they're going to start pressuring this tier 2 bottom tower. Fnatic, they can do the exact same thing up top, and they'd probably get the tower faster considering how low it already is. Chuan and Raven, they are hanging around, but they aren't going to go for it yet. SMG still hanging about the bot side.
Oh, look at that.
Clearing out the
DD into Roche.
Oh, of course there is. But how? Every time? Like, is it just the Loopet Pro Series that this is happening in? Is there a bug we don't know about?
Yeah, maybe. This is going to be a pretty quick Roche. Even if the DD is on Chuen, it's still a good amount of damage. The tier 2 bot should eventually get shoved in. It's very low, but taking this Roche is a lot bigger for Fnatic. It lets them take the next fight. They can actually line up for their own push as well. And they're already TPing in for the defense.
I mean, absolutely. Spear out, jabs. He's speared up, move. He's got the Mars with his own spirit. Now the jump in from Chuen.
Even a god.
Nice, easy kill for Fnatic. His death, he's still rolling around. He has to be careful not to get caught out, but he's going to be fine. He just swashbuckles away. SMG not feeling too confident to actually jump in anyway. And I just don't see this favoring SMG. I mean, we've talked about it. Raven, he's farming way too quick. Mid 1, he is keeping up, but he's consistently been about 2.5k gold behind. And even then with the Gyrocopter, it just doesn't match up to a Luna in the hero versus hero matchup right now. Even with even farm, I do believe Raven would have the advantage.
The Luna's just a lot bigger, considering the damage output and considering future upgrades, like, say, the Shard. The Lucent Beam Shard just feels more impactful than even the Gyrocopter Ags, in my opinion. It just feels much more consistent for the damage, lower cooldown, it attacks very frequently if you want to compare that, and it only costs 1,400 versus 4,200 for the Agnums and Gyro to do almost the same thing. So from a value perspective, Luna just has much more locked in early compared to Gyro. I think where it gets interesting is maybe a Divine build-up. Gyrocopter is still one of the better Divine carries along with Medusa, but that's way down the line.
Fu, the move in with the disruption. Raven, Purge is there, but immediately Chuen will jump in. Look at the amount of damage he's dealing with this Void Spirit. He will just step through again. He didn't even need it. Raven, he got the kill. Meanwhile, Arena has been dropped and they've got Death in there, but with the Essence Ring, he is going to survive and they'll heal him up again.
Couldn't do much about Radiant's
Oh, Fnatic, they've been getting very lucky with those neutral items. When you get an Essence Ring on your offlaner like that, along with an Abaddon, it feels impossible to kill
I
somebody
wonder
off.
what they're gonna build where Dyer's top tower.
Meanwhile, Death,
Still not safe.
Bottom towers.
yeah, still not safe. He's going to jump in onto the Mars. Cooldown is there, but look at the damage output from Chuen right now.
It's the rules.
Just way too high. Death, he is starting to drop low now. Chuen, he's just going to be able to run out. Meanwhile, another Essence Ring proc is going to be there for Death, and that'll keep him alive, at least for now, as mid one. And KP are going to try and chase him. You've still got DJ, but he has no mana left, so he cannot help out. Now, Chuen going to be targeted. He does get himself out. They will go after DJ instead and try to take down that pesky Abaddon. DJ somehow still alive, and now mid one. He's going to be jumped on, but he has a BKB. So Chuen is going to drop, but Raven is there with the Eclipse. He will get Rogi. Now mid one's being chased down. Raven, he's out of mana, but he's got the movement speed. Mid one, he'll find a regen for the Impale. Jabs is there from a mile away with that Impale out, and they found mid one. Oh, he's dropping items now. Jabs, he drops his Blink Dagger in front. Moon's going to jump in, but the immediate lift down from Jabs. Another Impel there as well on Arfu. They're still going to try and punish, however. Raven, he's going to man up on very low HP. He's going to pop the BKB. He'll find Arfu. They'll get Jabs down the Rubik, but what does it matter if you're going to lose KB? And they will. Just everything going the way of Fnatic already this game one. SMG, I mean, they're yet to find their footing in this game one, John. 17-7, 6k net worth lead. It's really starting to be a one-sided affair here in this match one.
It's just all going the way of Fnatic. Like, it's... these item timings coming out from Fnatic as well. Chuen with his Ags. We talked about this. He can jump in, get a big AoE silence. Suddenly, if KP can't get the split, he's in trouble. If your Shadow Demon can't get the disruption off, you're in trouble. You know, it just doesn't line up for SMG. They don't have any natural dispels on hand. They have to be very careful with their positioning on the back. I think there's a lot of pressure here on Moon to really get that arena set up for the team. It all relies on that big initiation. If he can isolate, I guess at this point, the supports. Just isolate the supports, try to pick off the Rubik or the Abaddon first. You can kind of take it from there and just try to focus on the course with their sources of sustain and control out. But Fnatic have done a really good job of just spacing Jabs and DJ away enough that if one support's getting jumped, the other team's trying to help them out.
They'll still get the spear down. Death, is he going to drop? He does. He won't be able to get the one charges off in time, nor the Essence Ring. They are still going to be able to get Rogi in. Oh, Jabs. Jabs, he's been all over Moon this game. Consistently finding the lifts, consistently taking the spear off him.
My house.
And now they move in to the die triangle again, making sure mid one's not around there to farm. You can see mid one, he's just forced to back off. He hasn't really got a choice in the matter.
Yeah. And this is really good timing from Fnatic. Aegis is just about to expire, so it might be a bit of a blessing that they don't take the fight, and it does right then. So if they don't have to worry about dying in the middle without knowing the Aegis is gone. Satanic coming out next for Raven. How do you kill this guy? BKB, you've got to worry about DJ with his shield, and the Mist Coil coming through has been coming through clutch over several fights now. He's going to have the Satanic for the lifesteal active and the Dispel. He's a hard hero to kill. SMG really have to work on the backline, and that's going to be mainly on Moon and to a certain extent KP. But again, it's just down to Fnatic. They manage to get their spacing perfectly right. They always kind of have their big tanky frontliners first, or Chuen first. The slippery heroes and the Pangolier up front, and you just don't have enough on SMG to handle them all at once.
Vendetta popped Rogi. He's going to try and make his way in, but there is a sentry protecting Raven. They've got vision over Fnatic, but it's still a very kind of hard ask to try and make your way in. They're going to do it anyway. Arena is down. They'll go after Jabs first, trying to get rid of that Rubik, and they'll get him. Fu has dropped on the Shadow Demon, though, and now Raven, he's going to get to work with the Eclipse out, but the BKBs, they're there in time. Raven, he's starting to drop now. They surround him, and they finally take him down. DJ is going to try and run, but he's got nowhere to go. Homing Missile will follow him down. Borrowed time already used up. He will be the fourth casualty here for Fnatic. In fact, never mind that. KP, he's going to drop to Chuen, but Moon is going to chase him on the Mars. And eventually Chuen is going to die. Spear not even necessary, and mid one immediately out with the tip.
You can tell these guys really want this game as well. They jump in, they get the right targets trapped in the arena. Again, they just kill off one of the supports. A big part of their control is gone. And for Raven, he can't just stand and fight yet. Without the Satanic, his lifesteal is really non-existent. He traded away that mask as well. So it's not as excellent for him to just maintain that fight, and BKBs are hindering him more compared to the gyrocopter because they do still have the physical coming through from the side of SMG with their Mars as well. So great isolation tactic from SMG to split the position of Raven. He was trapped by the camps, and that's just a very sneaky play with that smoke vendetta. Fnatic still have to be cautious. They still have the lead. They've still got the map under their control for the most part. SMG still kind of playing around with very limited space and vision. But if they do find those angles, it can start to build up. And the gyro, he does bounce back after a couple of items. If he can match the Luna, sure, the Luna still feels a little bit better, but he will do damage as well. Once the Daedalus is up maybe, or just casual Crystallis, even maybe mid-one's own Satanic, it's going to be hard to kind of square off against him. And we'll have to see how Fnatic start to approach these fights going forward. The Satanic for Raven is fairly close, just about 700 gold away, 800 gold, but he has to wait for a bit. His courier's gone as well, so he's going to have to TP back for it if he does farm that quick. And I think once you have that Satanic, you feel a lot more secure on that Luna.
Oh, Moon going to reveal himself at that top lane. Casual spear thrown out just to let him know that there is people around Raven. Roger even going to scuttle past with the Vendetta. Jabs, though, going to show up now at that top lane to make sure Raven does remain safe. In fact, they're bringing everyone over. They know that Moon's in the tree line somewhere. He's going to show himself off again. Now Chuen tries to jump in, but won't get the Aether Remnant. Towards the south, Roger. Oh, Jabs right on target. Gets the lift up, takes the Vendetta, uses it immediately. Roger, he has no idea where Jabs has gone. Death, he's going to chuck a bit of a U-turn here, back in onto the Nyx Assassin. And you know Jabs wants to kill. He won't take it though. He'll use the Vendetta now. Raven, he's not even going to look at this kill. He'll go down to the bot lane to try and help out Chuen in killing off mid one. Disruptions there from Arfu, but that's just set up Raven. But mid one, he's going to BKB TP away. In the end, they're not able to catch anybody off. It's Fnatic looking to try and get a bit more aggressive here with their lineup. They are still 2k net worth ahead, but it has become a really even game between these two teams.
I think the difference now is starting to come out in your mids and your off lanes. KP, you know, he's had Midas, so he's been able to slowly build up despite taking a more active position on his team. So he's got his Ags, he's got the double split ready, he's going into a refresh, so he's going to have the quad split down the line. A lot just slowly flowing through, and Midas actually paying off here on Brewers. For Death, he's kind of stalled out. Arcane Boots, Blink, Orb of Corrosion, no big thing to bump up his right click like a Basher. No Heaven's Halberd for a disarm on the Gyrocopter. So he's not getting as much flowing in. The Aeon Disc is going to help to a certain extent, but it doesn't quite have the same impact as to these item spikes on KP. And Chuen versus Moon. Like, Moon just with a BKB has been much harder to deal with in the front, whereas Chuen, he's got the Sanj, maybe going for the Kai Sanj now as they go into the Roshan and going into the BKB next. So that should help as well, but feels like SMG's timings are lining up. Roshan, SMG's aware.
That they are. Arfu spotted it out. Primal Split is there immediately from KP as they will target Raven. KP gets a Tornado up as well. They'll put the Luna in the air. He's got the Ags, don't forget, so he does have that secondary charge as now Chuen does get caught out, still not getting jumped though, as they do go on to the Nyx Assassin, but Roger, he has the Aeon, and now Moon, he's jumped in with the Arena, and he's got Jabs on that Rubik. DJ, he's trying to save Jabs, he's TPing out of there, he's gonna make it! He is well and truly out, as now they may be able to turn around. Mid one, he's gonna stand his ground with the flat cannon. Raven might need to back now. Moon, nice spear back to the low ground, but it does not land on anything. So try to chase with the homing missile. Raven still gonna be all right. A Photic Shield is there from DJ as Chuen does jump back in with a massive pulse out. Does get Roger. Aether Remnant actually caught Arfu.
Oh.
Chuen from the low ground, completely blind, gets an Aether Remnant onto the Shadow Demon. That's a Shadow Demon without buyback. And now Fnatic, they might be able to comfortably go back into the Roshan pit.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Moon still sticking around. Arena is up in 5. He's gone very early though. He doesn't have the help. He's down. Fall down is out. They've cycled up the Luna. A big impel there from Rogi, but is it enough? Not quite. Mid one. He doesn't have the follow-up damage, and now the 8th, the Remnant again, holding him down as they take down Rogi. Astral step in. They've got the big target. They want that gyro, and they're going to get him.
Oh, man.
Fnatic playing a very clean Roshan fight. And SMG, I doubt they can defend now. With so many heroes down as KB, he will be the full team wipe if they can get him, and they will. A triple kill out for Raven now on the Luna.
Kill here, Rick. Morty,
And Fnatic, they're going right back into that Roshan pit.
Just way too early on Moon to step up to the pit area. I guess they figured Roche was dropping a bit quick. Not as quick as they expected. Fnatic very disciplined to keep the rest of the team outside, knowing that SMG wasn't going to give up for free. And now they've got the second Roche lined up. Aegis, Cheese, Ag Shard coming out. They've got the Ag Shard onto Chuen. So he's got the Dissimulate now, the bigger Dissimulate, much more mobile once more on the Void Spirit. Double damage as well after. Man, what's up with that? Come on.
Get him out of here. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Another one. I mean, we've got to get a counter on the screen or something with the amount of double damage runes we've been getting around the Roshan timers. It's been unbelievable. Imagine that was before that last team fight shot. What would have happened?
It would have been even harder for SMG if that DD was on Raven earlier. High ground gonna begin. They've got the Satanic on Raven. He had that mid-fight. I think that was really the turning point there. Once Raven had the Satanic on hand, he knew he could dip back in. He could sustain himself. The Fortify is enough to zone them back though. Respawns are short, so it looks like Fnatic will play it safe, even with the DD pop. Maybe eyeing that tier 2 tower down bot just to completely empty the map. Could be the safer play here for Fnatic. Looks like they might just be baiting in the triangle though. Just standing around here. We'll see if SMG go for a smoke play and walk into the wrong spot.
Raven, does he have the Daedalus coming out? I'm not 100% sure if he's just going for the casual Chrysalis into the Eye of Skadi. I guess either way, like against the Gyrocopter, that Eye of Skadi going to be very nice. Especially considering mid one did find a Paladin Sword and still has the Morbid Mask up. See, once he finishes off the Satanic, it's not quite as good, but there is still going to be a lot of value there with that Eye of Skadi on Raven. Looks like he is going to choose to ignore the Daedalus build up and rather just go right into that Skadi.
Yeah, I think the stats play is going to be really helpful against Jara. You just basically outlast him. Look at the difference in HP. Right now, mid one has about 2.8k on hand. Raven has about 2.8k as well, so really even, and whoever gets that Skadi first is going to live a bit longer with these very similar build-ups, and it's up for him.
Spy Carapace is there, he's still alright. 8th Remnant is going to connect. They get a nice purge off though. They've got Raven trapped up. He's going to pop his BKB and try to fight back against KP's Brewmaster. Just waiting for Moon to jump in with that big arena. He's got 3 targets there and will jump in, but no arena to fly out. They won't go yet. They're waiting for that right moment, but now Moon might be in a spot of danger as the Rolling Thunder is going to rush forward here from Death, and they've got him. No disruption. Is there in time? Do they have enough, though? Not quite. They've got him. In fact, they're going after mid one now. He pumps his BKB and tries to go for a run. In fact, he'll turn around now with the Flak Cannon. Is it enough? Raven, he's dropping low, but he's still got the Aegis, and he's got the damage anyway. Chuen jumps in again to claim the kill. And mid one, he just finished his Satanic Charm, but he's got no buyback gold.
Yeah, that is very scary here for SMG. Their big damage dealer is gone. They're still jumping near the fountain.
Oh, they want to go. Fu, he's going to drop again. No buyback on the Shadow Demon. Is now KP. He's going to try and run back, but the GG's been called. 33 minutes in. SMG, it looked like they're about to turn it back the other way throughout the middle of this game, but in the end, Fnatic proving to be too strong. And SMG, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what to do for game 2.
Yeah, look, Drap